And to discuss this further, I'm joined in the studio by Ahmed Rushdi. He's a foreign policy advisor to the Speaker of the Iraqi Parliament. And also with us is Ahmed's namesake, Ahmed Uysal. He is a professor of Middle Eastern Affairs at Istanbul University. He's also the director of the Center for Iranian Studies in Ankara. Thank you so much for both of you to fly into Istanbul and be with us here. Let's begin with you, Ahmed. You're coming from Baghdad. Masoud Barzani has resigned. He took to Twitter with this statement that I will continue to serve my people as I have been before, during and after the presidency. I am the same Masoud Barzani, the same Peshmerga. What kind of message is Masoud Barzani sending out at a time when he's stepping down?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, he's meaning that he will return as a rebel, which is also a very dangerous thing, because at the end, he's saying, I will stay in power. And if you want to deny me as a president for KRG, you must know me now as one of the leader of Peshmerga, or let's say the only leader for Peshmerga, which is, I think, that's why we need to deal with the situation in a way that it will not go again as a crisis inside the KRG, because at the end, it means that all the efforts to try to managing the crisis before, it will be destroyed.
You're saying he'll emerge as a rebel. What does that mean?
That means he's going to sabotage any efforts that going to happen inside KRG or outside KRG. For instance, for the pipeline. It's easy for them to try to sabotage the pipeline that go to Turkey. It's easy for them to bomb cars against the tanks that, or let's say, all the roads to Baghdad, from Turkey to Baghdad with the trucks and so on. It means easy that he can kidnap anyone and saying that ISIS did it, or maybe the Hashid did it, or the PMF did it. So that means he's saying to us is that, yes, I'm not legal as a president, but I will do my best to stay in the scene, to be seen as a leader, and you must negotiate with me.
So what does this mean for the inner dynamics in the KRG and the Kurdish region then?
Yeah, for the Kurdish society, it means that firing up the spirit of rebelness, firing up the case of the Kurds inside the Kurdish society, which that's why I think it's very dangerous. But at the same time, we must not forget is that the first time that we have Baghdad, Ankara, Tehran assist each other to try to control what Masoud wants, is that, yeah, we managed to limitize the power of Masoud, but we won't go inside Kurdistan, which also Masoud, I think, urgently needs to say to the people is that, okay, we are victims now. Baghdad, Ankara, and Tehran, they are assisting each other against us.
Ahmed Uysal, Ankara has supported Masoud Barzani for a long time.
Yes.
How did this referendum go down as far as Ankara was concerned?
I think those, even though Turkey supported Barzani for a long time and the KRG region for humanitarian, for friendship and neighborhood, and Turks and Kurds are, relatives. They are brothers. But at the end, he consulted with others. Those who gave him advices. They probably thought either case they would create a mess in the region. But Barzani, he overestimated his cards. He overused his cards. He also underestimated the Turkey's resentment and opposition to this crisis. He thought Turkey is also benefiting from trade and good relations with KRG, but it is a bigger threat than he thought. They don't have much problem with PKK. Of course, there is some feud between Barzani and PKK, but at the end they see each other as brothers. But it is an existential threat to Turkey as a country, and they have pan-Kurdish and other ambitions to destroy Turkey, and Turkey will not, of course, allow in either form, either in Barzani form or in the PKK form that America is supporting in northern Syria, PYD. And so they underestimated the reaction by regional countries. Of course, maybe they underestimated Iran, but They underestimated Turkey's response and underestimated the world response. Not a major country in the world accepted this referendum as a legitimate referendum. So there is so many miscalculations by the Barzani, maybe just to stay in power, and he is now gambling on chaos. They say either me or chaos. So we see this kind of attitude sometimes in the region and in other parts of the world. You also see in Catalonia and other. He also, big gamble, and they hope that it works. But in international arena, gambling very seldomly works.
You were mentioning the PKK, which is a terrorist organization as far as Turkey is concerned, and its offshoots in Iraq, which Turkey had raised concerns about, especially in Sinjar and in Kandil. But there are other groups that are operating in KRG as well, such as the PUK, the main opposition group formerly led by the late Jalal Talabani. You have the Goran movement as well. So what's the calculus there then, Ahmed Rushdi?
Well, the PUK is a division. Actually, it is a division from the KDP. That means originally they are, Jalal Talabani and his followers at that time, they were with Mullah Mustafa al-Barzani. Now, and the division happened in Tehran. So it means that we have political movements inside the Kurdistan area in a way that we have the PUK, but it's not a united, we don't have united wings. We have separated one now, especially after the referendum. We have Qasrat Rasul, who's now with Masoud, Mullah Bakhtiyar, also with Masoud, Barham Saleh is in between, and we have, and maybe Qubad is also, the son of Jalal Talabani, is also in between. But we have on the other wing, we have Hiro Khan, wife of Jalal Talabani, and Baful, who's the son of Jalal Talabani, on the side that they are cooperating with Tehran and also with Baghdad. In a way or another, the Peshmerga of PUK, they retreated from Kirkuk and they gave, let's say, all the empty spaces for the Iraqi forces to enter Kirkuk and to control Kirkuk. That's why Masoud is actually focusing on that issue, is that the traitors of the Kurds has already existed with us. And we must not forget what's happened in Kirkuk. Now, the PUK said, okay, you must also not forget what you did when you called Saddam Hussein in 1996 and he bring his forces entering Erbil, and actually we already controlled Erbil then. With the entering of Saddam troops, we went out. So it's some sort of, there are so many political agenda inside Kurdistan. Our focus now as an Iraqi government and also an Iraqi parliament is that how to manage the inside crisis in a way not to give any chance to Masoud, or let's say Masoud Barzani, to get advantage from that. In another way is that come to Baghdad, let's negotiate and also participate in the elections in next year, which is, I think it's very dangerous thing if Masoud say no, we won't participate in the elections next year, which will give him some sort of support.
Inner chaos, managing inner chaos, but external opportunity as well, especially as far as this border gate is concerned between Turkey and Iraq. Are we seeing a new chapter in this relationship between Ankara and Baghdad,
yes,
Professor?
Definitely, because and cooperation will increase the ties between the two countries. And I think it's more like a normalized picture right now between Iraq and Turkey, and I think it's a good way to go. Everybody, both sides can benefit from that.
Ahmed Uysal, Ahmed Rushdi, thank you so much.